Well, it seems as though the rain has not deterred workers who are determined to get into conversation with the mayor. We understand that they have come back to the streets of Braamfontein, blockading most of the roads. As you can see over here, the streets of Braamfontein have come to a standstill. These are picket up trucks. These are City of Johannesburg vehicles, all parked in the middle of the road, really blocking any access or entry to the Johannesburg Metro here, and delaying a council sitting, which we understand was due to convene today. Now, this is the situation in Braamfontein. Workers are up and down. We understand that some shop stewards have indeed gone into a meeting with the mayor to try and find a resolution to the situation. We must also just make it clear that this is not a strike per se, but workers did explain, or the union rather did explain yesterday, that this was part of a time off that they had applied for and was given or approved by the city, and they have decided to use this time to ventilate their frustrations around wage negotiations. What they are calling for is for that political facilitated agreement to be implemented by the city, and this was negotiated as early as 2016 in an effort to try and address some salary discrepancies within the city. I'm joined by SAMWU's regional secretary, who's going to talk to us about some allegations that have emerged since closing the M1. There are those who believe that this we can't call it protest action, but this demonstration is driven by political ambitions, or that you are working with a political party or per se. Talk to us about that.
Thank you, Mbalenhle. Good day to the listeners. Perhaps let's correct it. I'm the provincial treasurer, not the regional secretary of SAMWU in Gauteng. Mbali, having said that, it's quite correct. We are not in any protest action. We have requested time off so that we can convene this general meeting of workers in the city of Johannesburg. You see, then what comes after, especially coming from some of the councillors who are there, they are dragging us into a corner where we never really enjoy comfort in. We don't work with politicians.
So you are not working with the ANC to try and bring this the city to a standstill?
We feel disrespected as leadership collectively of SAMWU when somebody sitting somewhere in her couch, confused by whatever that she's consuming, makes an assertion that we are working with the ANC, where we take a mandate and instructions from our members. So for them to say we are working with the ANC, it's really an insult. You see, if they have their own obsessions in council with ANC whatsoever, it's well and good, but we should not be dragged into that. Our union belongs to its members, and its members only, and no one else. We don't work with the ANC. We don't particularly work with them too as an organization, you know. So maybe, and the reason that they're thinking that we are working with the ANC, this DA administration have got a rotten history of having participated in SAMWU divisions. This the same administration that they still owe SAMWU 25 million because they were choosing factions when SAMWU had their issues. So we found it very nonsensical for that certain councillor Belinda of theirs to even make a presumption like that we are working with the ANC and not basing it on anything. They should perhaps look around where they are standing.
So you're saying that there is no evidence to support the assertion that this is an ANC-sponsored protest action or demonstration. But you mentioned something really important here, the divisions. You say you accuse the Democratic Alliance of sowing divisions within the party and owing the union rather money. Please elaborate on that.
You see, in around 2015, the union itself, like any other living organization, SAMWU had its own issues, and there were factions, two factions. Now, DA under the leadership of Herman Mashaba, were taking, they then withheld subscriptions of SAMWU members. And they lied to members, that they lied to council even, that they have created a suspense account. A suspense account which will keep these subscriptions of ours in an interest-bearing account. We were dismayed when we wanted the money. When SAMWU had now elected leadership, it was unified, it was one union. We actually learned that there was not even that so-called suspense account. So I'm saying they suspect that we work with politicians because they themselves are champions of meddling their big noses into our affairs as workers. Yeah, and it can be correct.
Now, take us back to what happened yesterday. We understand that behind this demonstration is a need or call or plea to speak to the mayor regarding that political agreement, that political facilitated agreement. And what has happened so far? I mean, we understand that yesterday workers were frustrated and the frustrations led them to the highway. What's happening today? Have you managed to have that conversation with the mayor?
Maybe first let's clarify the yesterday part. Workers went to the freeway because they were lied to by the same mayor. We were here at Metro Center. We got an instruction from their office that the mayor is 30 kilometers away. Now, with our calculation, anywhere 30 kilometers away from here, it can be outside Johannesburg. You know, you are in Johannesburg, but you are an executive mayor, you have blue lights, you have a second escort car. So how you travel your 30 kilometers versus how Karabo does, it's completely different. Yours is rapid. Workers said, no, it's fine, let's give the mayor 20 minutes. Others said, no, 30, so we gave it 30 minutes. You know, after that time, then we were informed by the same office that no, the mayor is not going to come. They are actually sending somebody very junior in that office. That's when the workers said, actually, this woman does not take us serious. Let's go where we work. She will find us there. You'll recall, Mbali, that some of the employees here are employees of Johannesburg Road Agents. So where do they work? They work on the TARs, on the freeway, on the streets, on the road. You have Johannesburg Metropolis. Where do they work? That's where they work. So workers opted to wait for the mayor who said she was coming on the road. We thought maybe she's coming from M1 South or she could be from M1 North, but let's wait for the mayor because she has made an undertaking that she's coming. We're actually meeting her halfway. We're not blockading the road. If at all it caused some inconvenience, it was not our intention, but residents of Johannesburg but must put it squarely on this administration, not on us, and we must not be dragged into politics. Ours is bread and butter issues of the workers.
Now, we're here today. The roads in Braamfontein have been blockaded. The council meeting, which was due to start at 10, has been delayed. How long do you plan to stay here?
We were invited to a meeting to meet with the mayor, and we had agreed on timelines. It was from their side to say they will meet us from 9 to 10 o'clock. We thought because most of the issues were dealt with, it was just the implementation of this PFA. An hour should be enough. We've been waiting. A group of our shop stewards have entered maybe to inquire, are we going to have somebody? Because as at say 11:30, we had, or say 11, we had not had anything from the mayor's office, you know. So we are not blockading the road, we are parking. It's just that maybe the place is too small. You can see, Mbali, there are buses, there are trucks. If the city there, the parking bay, all these cars can fit, we are more than happy to take them there. These are workers who are at their workplace coming to a meeting.
Now, in a statement, the mayor's office, from a statement from the mayor's office, they did say that they have a very good relationship or working relationship with labor federations and labor unions, rather. And have they communicated, I mean, in conversations with them or during meetings, why it is that the city has not been able to implement that PFA?
You see, since especially the emergence of one, I'm not sure if she's Leonard or Lea Potriter or Ruth Potriter, the MMC for corporate and shared services, the city has been in the tendency to speak on our behalf without even getting things from us. If they had been having a good relationship that they claim to be having, we would not be here, because they would have told us that we can't implement because of 1, 2, 3, or we can implement but under these terms. All what we know and what we know about them, we pick it up from social media. You know, we were not even aware that they have a council meeting today. I care when they schedule council meeting as a stakeholder, they don't even give us a notice so that perhaps when we plan we can avoid their council days. We were not even aware that there's council. They gave us permission. I came to meet them today knowing very well that there's council. They can't come and cry foul, more so that they are the ones who have delayed the meeting, you know.
Now, earlier this week, we heard minority parties alleging that the city's finances are in a very dire situation to the extent that it might not be able to pay salaries in the near future. What are your thoughts when you hear comments such as those and allegations such as those?
Like we say, those things, they say them in council, but should it be that that is the case? And maybe signs are there. You know, just before we did this interview, I was approached by one of an employee from CRAM, Citizens Relation and Urban Management. They are saying, Comrade Karabo, we are expected to tidy up dump sites, work at dangerous places. We don't have PPEs, we don't even have safety boots. Now, signs would be, why would they not afford their service delivery agents tools of trade? The issue here, it's if it's money, the city must come to us and say, comrades, we know we owe you, but we don't have money.
And what do you say about this council meeting? We understand that one of the items on the agenda is the approval of a DBSA loan. And that loan could somewhat be a solution to the alleged financial woes at the city. I mean, do you feel that, you know, maybe we should allow council to convene, so and this could be an answer to some of, you know, the issues that you have brought forward?
If they are going to do that TBSA loan and they are doing it to pay us the monies that we are owing, I'm sure they could have communicated that to us. And if they were going to borrow money to pay us, they owe us so much money. These people, they owe us monies on local allowance on this PFA. They owe us a lot, you know. So if they were doing this loan to pay our debts, as long as they know how they will pay it, we don't care. We are selfish to our benefits. We are selfish to our interest as employee, and our primary interest is financial remuneration. So if they are broke and they are going to borrow money to pay us, that's very good for them. But if they are going to borrow money to do other things, we are going to be on a permanent discourse with them.
No, I would love to get more details on the PFA in terms of what are the details, the finer details in that agreement, but we will keep talking to you and we will keep coming back to you. I've just been told that we've run out of time. There you have it. This is the situation here in Braamfontein. That council meeting has been delayed and there are concerns from workers around salaries and a wage increase. It's back to you in studio.
Yeah, certainly another contentious issue hitting the city of Johannesburg. Mbalenhle Mthethwa, thank you so much for bringing us that story.